For decades, Chuck E. Cheese wasn't just a place for pizza and games. It was special. Unlike other places, Chuck E. Cheese stood out because of their animatronic characters, giving the art of live performance a new life. But recently, these once iconic characters are disappearing. What happened? Today, I'm diving into their evolution and why they are fading away.
Birthday one, honey bun, won't you be our birthday one?
Please say yes, don't say no.
And we'll tell the world.
The story of Chuck E. Cheese's animatronics begins in the late 1970s with Nolan Bushnell, the founder of Atari and Pizza Time Theater. Bushnell wanted to combine arcade gaming, food, and family entertainment into one groundbreaking concept. But what really set his idea apart was the inclusion of animatronic characters, robotic performers that could sing, dance, and entertain while kids ate their pizza. The first animatronics were relatively simple. Chuck himself was the cigar-smoking rat, not yet the lovable mouse we know today. Alongside him were characters like Krusty the Cat and Pasquale, who entertained families with scripted jokes and songs.
I bet that pizza tastes good.
You've never seen a place like Showbiz Pizza Place. We'll serve you a pizza second to none. So come for pizza, stay for the fun.
Showbiz Pizza Place with over 60 electronic games, pizza baked fresh every day, and a stage show extravaganza on 3 stages.
So come for pizza, stay for the fun.
In 1980, Chuck E. Cheese's faced competition from Showbiz Pizza Place, which featured a new animatronic band, the Rock-afire Explosion. Created by Aaron Fechter of Creative Engineering, this band was a technological marvel. Each character had advanced movements, lifelike expressions, and unique personalities. In 1985, Showbiz Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese merged, and the animatronics from both chains became a staple of family entertainment in the 80s and 90s. This era was known as concept unification. By the late 90s and early 2000s, the magic of animatronics started to fade for most people. Technology was advancing at a rapid rate, and the animatronics just couldn't keep up with the rise of video games, interactive play areas, and digital entertainment. For many kids, a robot band just wasn't as exciting as a PlayStation or a giant climbing structure. In 2017, Chuck E. Cheese Corporate made the controversial decision to phase out animatronics entirely. The company claimed that modern generations didn't connect with the animatronics the way previous generations did. Instead, the company focused their efforts on open concept designs such as a dance floor with a custom Chuck mascot. With the pandemic in 2020, Chuck E. Cheese faced their biggest challenge yet. They had to shut down hundreds of locations nationwide, leading to massive financial strain. And I mean massive. You might think it's impossible for Chuck E. Cheese to recover from this. Well, foreshadowing. The building behind me is the Chuck E. Cheese of Plano, Texas. It opened in 1998 and was the 4th store to open with the Studio C Alpha. They had it up until May 2015 when they removed it and replaced it with the dance floor. By the way, this wasn't 2.0. They got that in 2022. In June 2020, Chuck E. Cheese's parent company, CEC Entertainment, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, citing nearly $1 billion in debt. They had to close locations nationwide, and locations remaining had to adapt quick. But despite the struggles, Chuck E. Cheese managed to turn things around. In 2021, under the leadership of David Mckillips, they played their pieces just right and emerged from bankruptcy with their focus on digital entertainments, store improvements, and rebranding. And today, I have the opportunity to sit down with Mr. Mckillips, the CEO and president of CEC Entertainment, to talk about how he practically revived the brand, what the future holds, and, of course, the fate of animatronics in Chuck E. Cheese locations. First one is, when you took over as CEO, Chuck E. Cheese was in deep financial trouble. What was your initial reaction to the company's situation?
I was lucky enough to get the job and started in January 2020, as you know. And the company wasn't in deep financial trouble. The company had a fair amount of debt on its balance sheet. And what happened is 6 weeks after I started, we had to shut down all of the Chuck E. Cheese because of COVID. And, you know, from a financial perspective, this company just didn't have the balance sheet to continue operating without revenue coming in because of the balance sheet situation. So ultimately, we had to go and do a restructuring, but the company was, very healthy from a financial perspective, and it just gave us some time to kind of reload our strategy.
What were the biggest challenges the company faced during the 2020 bankruptcy?
Well, one of the biggest challenges, number one, it was my first year working here, so I had to get to know the brand, get to know the people, and it was so hard to do that if I couldn't be in our fun centers and our restaurants and meeting everyone. Because the world was just shut down at the time. So that was one of the biggest challenges. And the other The other piece is that, we entertain millions of families and kids every single year. In fact, we have over 500,000 birthday parties every single year. What hurt me the most and what broke all of our hearts is that we couldn't celebrate these birthdays because we were closed or we were restricted in so many different areas. So, that was a really tough time for, I think, our team. I think it was a tough time for all of our fans, but now we're back and better than ever.
Some fans feel that removing the animatronics may take away from the Chuck E. Cheese experience. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I get a lot of feedback from our fans. And look, the animatronics are going to be a part of the legacy of this brand forever. And they were a special part of what made Chuck E. Cheese so unique when it started almost 48 years ago. But we today are under an entertainment evolution. And if you look at the decades of Chuck E. Cheese, the company had constantly reinvented itself from the 5-character stage to Studio C to Circle of Lights even, So this is just the next iteration of entertainment. And if you have to think about who we cater to, and there are a lot of great fans such as yourselves, but our core target audience are younger kids between the ages of 3 and 8 years old.
Yeah.
And this group consumes entertainment differently than I did as a little kid many, many moons ago, and some of the generations that kids have been through. So I love the animatronics. It is part of the legacy of this brand, and we have legacy locations that Nolan Bushnell and I have been together, giving each other a big hug about the old Chuck E. Cheese and a new Chuck E. Cheese. But right now we're just catering to a new generation of 5-year-olds.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, I went to Chuck E. Cheese a lot, and mainly the ones I went to were Studio C, and I loved the animatronics. It's one of the big parts of my childhood, and it's kind of why I do most of the stuff I do now, why I'm interested in it now, because it's just been a big part of me growing up.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we're going to continue celebrating the legacy of the company and the animatronics and the characters. We're just going to look at the evolution of entertainment.
Yeah. With the rise of digital entertainment, how is Chuck E. Cheese adapting to meet the changing preferences of families?
Well, you served this up perfectly. So if you look at the all-new Chuck E. Cheese, there's a couple great entertainment values that you'll be able to experience, from our digital dance floor to our floor-to-ceiling jumbotrons, the all-new games, brand new digital content. And what makes us really unique is that Chuck E. Cheese has always been that special place to go to, but now it's a place, I call it like a theme park in a box. It's the treat down the street. And we have a lot more new entertainment for all of our fans, whether it's active play trampolines and our brand new playground that we're putting in. All of those things are relevant for today's kids. Now, what's great about digital entertainment is that we are constantly publishing new content. And you've probably been on our YouTube, at our YouTube Kids page. Melissa and Matt Daniel, that do such a fantastic job creating new content. And we're able to celebrate all the seasons, like Chuck E. Cheese Halloween Bootacular. That's all great Halloween content. We can bring that to life, embracing our new digital network.
What role does international expansion play in the company's growth strategy?
It's a big part. We are operating now in 17 countries and territories worldwide. We opened up last year in Cairo, Egypt, Kuwait City. More locations are coming into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Latin America. We're getting ready to open up in the next couple months in Perth, Australia. So one of my visions is to have Chuck E. Cheese not just a brand for North America, but a brand that we can celebrate all over the world. So there are great territories and countries that I'd like to be in, like Southeast Asia, South Korea, all over Europe that we're not in yet. And those are discussions that we're having now. But I would love to have Chuck E. Cheese be a footprint all over the globe.
If you could give a message to lifelong fans of Chuck E. Cheese, especially those who grew up with animatronics, what would you say?
Well, I would say, first of all, thank you for being such a great fan. Thank you for the feedback that I get all the time about how we can make Chuck E. Cheese better. It is my vision to have Chuck E. Cheese be the #1 family entertainment brand in the entire world. And that's why we're expanding globally. That's why we're looking at ways to take Chuck E. Cheese outside the 4 walls. And I think all of us who are big fans of the greatest mouse in entertainment would love to see a Chuck E. Cheese animation special. Would like to have more retail items and apparel and soft goods and hard goods. We've got our frozen pizza that's now at Walmart. We've got new T-shirts that you can get, both vintage the original Chuck E. Cheese all the way to the current Chuck E. Cheese. My background was working in theme parks and entertainment, and I had the opportunity to represent. If you're a comic book fan at all, I worked at DC Comics for a decade, and I represented Superman and Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, all these great superheroes. Nothing, though, is as popular as Chuck E. Cheese. So if you think about what we're doing within the four walls, a great entertainment experience, it's all new. It's just a great experience. What we can do outside the four walls is just as exciting.
Yeah, that's great. How do you envision the balance between nostalgia and modernization in future Chuck E. Cheese locations?
Well, it's a little too early to share, but we do have a couple announcements that we're going to be making here in the near future. And there's always a wonderful balance of how we can celebrate the nostalgia and the original brand and what we can do for a new generation of Chuck E. Cheese fans.
Were there any unexpected positives that came out of the bankruptcy and restructuring process?
Well, I think every negative has a positive, and we learned so much while we were closed down. We were able to reset our strategy. One positive is that we were able to go through a financial restructuring, which allowed us to shed a lot of debt that the company had. And that cleaned up our balance sheet, allowing us to remodel every location. And it really helped us understand what kids wanted today, right? A lot of kids, especially up north, I know you're here in Texas, but up north, they were not able to go out for a year and a half. And at that time, the world had evolved in terms of what our guests and their parents wanted to see out of Chuck E. Cheese. And that was part of the active play transformation. So, we may not be in active play if COVID never happened. That was just something that evolved. But, every challenge, every dark storm, after that is a bluebird sky and the sun shines, and we figured out a way to get through. And now we're doing better than ever.
That's great. Chuck E. Cheese has gone through many challenges over the past few years. What do you think the most important aspect of the brand is today?
The character. So it is all about wholesome, safe family entertainment. We want kids and families to come and feel safe and be able to celebrate a great moment. And anybody can open up an arcade. Anybody can open up a pizza restaurant, but only we can open up a Chuck E. Cheese. Our character program, our live character program is so important. Our content program is so important. And we think we are delivering an incredible experience, and our fans are telling us they love it.
What do you think makes Chuck E. Cheese stand out from other entertainment centers today?
Well, I think the uniqueness of how we're protecting our brand and being that place where a kid can be a kid. And everything is built through the eyes of a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old. And, from the cabinet size to the new games that we have, to the pizza that we serve and the desserts that we have, all of the entertainment, it's a safe place for people to come. And as soon as you come through our door, you can not worry about homework, not worry about your chores, just come in and have a great time.
Could we ever see animatronics return in the future?
You never know what the future might hold for us, but I will tell you that if we were to ever feature animatronics again, I would want to make sure that we're embracing all of the new technology that is out there. I've seen some great things, and quite frankly, a lot of the animatronics that we had, they were just dated and they weren't operating, at a level that we wanted. And we have incredible technicians that kept us going. And we've done that with our legacy stages. I was just out in Northridge again. What a great stage. And I've yet to be in North Carolina. I've got to get out to the location there. But if we ever bring them back, I just want to make sure that we're using the best technology out there.
Despite their decline, animatronics have left a mark on pop culture. Fans have kept the legacy alive by restoring old bots, creating tribute videos, and more. The nostalgia for animatronics runs deep. For many of us, they were not just robots. They were part of our childhood memories, singing happy birthday and engraving the fun we had in our little brains. Fortunately, corporate has decided to keep animatronics in 6 stores, naming them the legacy locations. These locations include Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Charlotte, Pineville, North Carolina, Northridge, California, Nanuet, New York, Hicksville, New York, and Springfield, Illinois. Who knows, maybe one day we will see a resurgence of animatronic entertainment in new and exciting ways. After all, the art of animatronics is far from dead. It's just evolving. Chuck E. Cheese animatronics may be gone, but their legacy lives in our memories, and in the communities of fans who refuse to let them be forgotten. What do you think? Should animatronics make a comeback? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. They're really fun to make, and I have a few new ones coming up. That's all I have for this video. See you guys next month. Bye!